It's 1:42 on the 30th of November, and it has come to my attention that there are individuals that have been stalking my privacy, that have thought this situation of category disposability. Now, unfortunately, human life is quite precious, and there are individuals that are being quite irresponsible and not doing their jobs properly and making a further offence of exacerbation against innocence and humanity. So it gives me awful displeasure and huge concern. I have huge concern with regard to this entire matter of individuals that think there's a disposability and easy get out of jail scenario in this circumstance. Now, as I've mentioned, my role as a mother has been disrespected and damaged. The Ombudsman for Children were made aware of this matter in 2017, and they've done nothing about my child being from my care and legally a missing person. There's been highly irresponsible behaviour of culprits being facilitated in a senseless charade without regard for the consequences. So this is for the knowledge of the United Nations with regard to what I'm tolerating in Tralee, County Kerry, in my cold one-bedroom apartment with no shower, water running, living from €236 per week, and I'm of legislation, and the government has not fulfilled its obligations to my royal title. Now, as I've mentioned, I have humanitarian protection, and I'm just very curious how the government is able to explain liabilities and repeat offenders against my good name, my good family name, being in my proximity. Now, as I've mentioned, in recovery, I've helped many people that have fortunately been saved in their own lives as a consequence of my work. So I'm really trying to understand the insanity of the situation and how people think that they have a free run onto farm holdings and causing disrespect to my child and I. It's really serious now in Tralee, County Kerry at this stage. There are people not doing their jobs properly, and they're not fulfilling their obligations to my family, and that's quite serious. And as for the individuals that have been quite reckless in their research and development illegally, those individuals have been quite irresponsible as well with the fallout or the consequence of damages to not just my physical anatomy, but also to the sacred that they damaged also. They've been highly irresponsible. It's absolutely outrageous what I'm experiencing now in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland, and they just don't have any sense about this situation. It's quite serious. I'm really concerned. So I'd like to know what the government is going to start doing. Is it going to just sit on its hands and let my constitutional rights be insulted and my child and I being injured? Is the honourable government not aware of the ancestral role of my family since 1700 on my marital property? Is the honourable government aware of the debts I'm owed from the state? I'm really curious about how people think life is disposable, and people acting inhumanely and irrationally and blaspheming my holy nuptials, my vows that have been disrespected also. I'm really curious how people are challenging this entire situation when they've no right or remit and they're not actually lawful in any sense to be accessing my McElligott farm holdings. I'm really curious, would the ladies and gentlemen of the Government of Ireland be comfortable with their homes being intruded upon and their children missing and their wealth being helped to by other people that have been causing your family offence? I'm really curious. What does the Government of Ireland feel about these troubles that are being caused in Tralee, County Kerry by individuals that are of land acquisition from my property, and individuals that have been of they've been saved in so many ways as a consequence of my work? I'm really curious how they feel that that's good to disrespect. I'm wondering, is there a rationale that I'm not understanding? And does everyone know how dangerous treason is? So I'm really curious why the Government of Ireland hasn't presented itself cordially, officially and formally, and why does it feel that ignoring this problem is just so easily, as a part of bad acquisitions, bad politics, etc. So this is just to remind people that those on farm holdings of mine in Ardfert, Tuberhill and Kilflyn are really not welcome with the offence that they've caused my beautiful son and I. And I'd like the Guards and the government to address the DPP impact statements also. So those that are liabilities in the community, I hope they know the offspring or the offshoot of this entire matter. The fallout, I call it the fallout. People disrespecting holy nuptials and disrespecting sacred light is a very serious issue, and life isn't disposable. So for my cold one-bedroom apartment, I hope the government is aware that my beautiful home in Tuppert Hill is actually the place of residence officially and legally, and those trespassing are not welcome in my home, and they're not welcome to be of any business transactions or exploitation from those properties. And I hope the Honourable Government has respect for my family name and the entire dangerous issue that's quite dirty again after the beautiful possibilities that could have been after 2018. So this is the lay of the land of the situation. I hope there's a bit of courage and bravery for the Guards and the government to act respectfully of the Constitution and my law-abiding status and my clean track record and my good work in advocacy and sanity and sobriety. I really hope everyone's comprehending the situation properly.